welcome back to another edition of Nick and Knarf, two brothers in Tucson, Arizona, bringing you music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, both ways. Today, we're featuring an American icon of music, television, occasionally a film, but a guy who was really a heartthrob in the 60s and early 70s. We're talking about Ricky Nelson. Rick Nelson, also known as Eric Nelson. That was his actually given name.
Yeah, he was born in 1940. And in fact, since this is the month of May, it's kind of a nice synchronicity. His birthday is May 8th, and this video will be airing here in May. So Rick would have been 85 years old. He died in 1985 in a tragic plane accident. As he was making a comeback in his career, right at the time, his career was starting to take off again. Yeah. But he had quite a career starting in 1957 on Ozzie and Harriet, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet TV show.
Where he was the brother of Dave, the younger brother. He was Rick, or Ricky, who started playing guitar. You know, I remember when he first started, I think he was 8 or 9 years old, you know. So obviously we saw him grow up. You know, I'm younger than that, but you watch the reruns, you saw him grow up and get older and become a heartthrob.
Get married on TV.
Good-looking fella, you know.
It was he was a really underrated performer. You know, we were looking up some of this info. He had 54 songs on the Hot 100 between 1957 and 1973, 19 top 10 hits. He had something like 20, Nick looked up 25 albums, compilations, live albums. He was inducted posthumously into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987.
He deserves to be there.
Yeah, and he just had some really wonderful songs, and he's really an underrated star. And, you know, I think we really think he deserves the attention, and we're going to share some wonderful stuff from him. We're going to do some of his very early hits from the late 50s and early 60s, and then we're going to jump to his big comeback hit in 1972, Garden Party.
Yeah, it was short-lived in terms of, you know, his comeback, because what happened was, I guess somebody bought his record label and they just didn't promote it very well, and he became actually quite bitter about it, but then he was still performing. He just didn't do a lot of songs after his famous Garden Party song.
And unfortunately, dying tragically at the age of 45 in 1985.
It was pretty sad. 6 people died, his girlfriend and members of his band, but the 2 pilots survived. Wow. So that was
real tragedy. But he left us a terrific legacy, which we're all going to revisit today. So it's going to be great to do it. But before we get started here, we'd like to invite you, as always, if you have not, and you enjoy what you hear today, because we're caring for your ears, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing with your friends. Hit that like icon on that screen. It really helps us promote the videos. And to all our subscribers, again, we always thank you for all of your wonderful support. So let's get into it. So we're going to start it off with this song, was actually the first #1 hit he made, and actually the first #1 hit when the Billboard Top 100 was created in 1958.
58?
1958.
Wow.
So it was kind of late. You think it came before that, but it was 1958 when the Billboard Top 100. So it was the first #1 song. Here it is from Rick Nelson, Poor Little Fool.
I used to play around with hearts, hasten at my call. But when I met that little girl, I knew that I would fall. Poor little fool. Oh yeah, I was a fool. Poor little fool. I was a fool, oh yeah. She'd play around and tease me with her carefree devil eyes. She'd hold me close and kiss me, but her heart was full of lies. Poor little fool. Oh yeah, I was a fool. Poor little fool. I was a fool, oh yeah. She told me how she cared for me, and that we'd never part. And so for the very first time, I gave away my heart. Poor little fool. Oh yeah, I was a fool. Poor little fool. I was a fool, oh yeah. The next day she was gone and I knew she lied to me. She left me with a broken heart, won her victory. Poor little fool, oh yeah, I was a fool. Poor little fool, I was a fool, oh yeah. Well, I played this game with other hearts, but I never thought I'd see the day when someone else would play love's foolish game with me. Poor little fool, oh yeah, I was a fool. Poor little fool, I was a fool, oh yeah. Poor little fool, oh yeah, I was a fool. Poor little fool,
It was interesting. No lead in that song. Did you notice
Not
that?
at all. And what I really loved, though, was the mix. This was really well done. The vocals didn't get too loud. The background, they were really good. Sometimes you hear them and they're almost corny, when they're doing the 3 or 4 guys in the background in some of these 50s and early 60s
I'll tell you, though,
songs.
this was the heyday of the rise of the heartthrobs and the rockabilly stars like the Everly
Definitely
Brothers,
the rockabilly,
Elvis,
yes.
Elvis,
The country,
Buddy Holly. They were all on this arc. And Rick Nelson, one thing to note about him is he's one of the first stars to leverage his TV fame into musical fame
Great
in the
point.
recording industry. And early in the early 60s, we had a number of those stars doing it. You had the Monkees. They turned a TV show into musical fame. You had the Partridge Family. There were some other stars, too, who did that, too. They got Shelley Fabre and Paula Peterson on Donna Reed. They did Johnny Angel and My Dad.
It's got a nice voice, a nice
Lovely voice, doesn't he?
A baritone voice.
And he was a
Very
big
nice.
crossover artist, too. A lot of country fans enjoyed his music
a lot
as
of
well.
country. He was born in New Jersey, so he's an Eastern guy, Did they do the filming of Ozzie and Harriet out in California?
California, though, yeah, because I
Yeah.
think they moved from New York to California to film all that. But anyway, did you enjoy Poor Little Fool? Let us know
It's a
your
nice
comments.
song.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into a song that also became a big hit for him about 3 years later. 1961 was a good year for him. He had 2 big songs out, and this is one of the 2. This is Hello, Mary Lou, Rick Nelson.
Hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart, sweet Mary Lou. I'm so in love with you. I do, Mary Lou. We never part. So hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. Pass me by one sunny day, flash those big brown eyes my way, and ooh, I wanted you forevermore. Now I'm not one that gets around, swear my feet stuck to the ground, and though I never did meet you before, I said hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart, sweet Mary Lou, I'm so in love with you. I knew, Mary Lou, we never part, so hello, Mary Lou, goodbye, heart.
There's a lead for you.
George Harrison.
I saw your lips, I heard your voice. Believe me, I just had no choice. Wild horses couldn't make me stay away. I thought about a moonlit night, arms around you good and tight. That's all I had to see for me to say. Hey, hey, hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart, sweet Mary Lou. I'm so in love with you. I knew, Mary Lou, we never part. So hello, Mary Lou, goodbye, heart. So hello, Mary Lou, goodbye, heart.
Yeah, I think there is a banjo in there. A little
It's either
very
a
soft.
banjo or it sounds like a honky-tonk piano in the background. Doesn't it have a real interesting mix of sounds?
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like, it sounds like rockabilly. It sounds like country. It sounds like calypso, the way it started. You know,
Exactly.
Didn't the beginning of that song sound, you to me are just like roses in the springtime. You to me. That's what it started sounding like. But, how was the mix on that, too? I love the little echo on his voice. That's the first time I think they started using that echo effect, the reverb or whatever you call that, where you sound like he's in a chamber.
And I'm kind of dying to know. I wonder if he sang that with the musicians playing. It almost sounded like they were all in the studio singing and doing it live.
In those days, they probably did more of that. That way it saved the number of takes and reduced, recording
very good.
time.
His voice was tasty. It was real nice. It was mellow. It was likable, Yeah. And, I mean, look. He wasn't a guy that, that was out found drinking at night, out partying in Hollywood at the Brown Derby or any other place.
And his vocal range is really, really narrow, but he's so solid in that narrow range that he sings in. And that's such a catchy little tune, man, really nice. What did you guys think of Hello, Mary Lou? Hope you enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to get into another song from 1961 he did. Nick and I both agreed we were going to do something else that we talked about. I said, no, let's do this one. This one's another wonderful song. Here it is from 1961, Rick Nelson with Travelin Man.
I like that. I always think of Elvis Presley as soon as I hear the beginning.
I'm a traveling man, made a lot of stops all over the world, and in every port I own the heart of at least one lovely girl. I've a pretty senorita waiting for me down in old Mexico. And if you're ever in Alaska, stop and see my cute little Eskimo. Oh, my sweet Fraulein down in Berlin town makes my heart start to yearn. And my China doll down in old Hong Kong waits for my return. Pretty Polynesian baby over the sea. I remember the night.
What night?
When we walked in the sands of Waikiki.
On the Bounty.
And I held you oh so tight.
Rock on.
Oh, my sweet Fraulein down in Berlin town makes my heart start to yearn. And my China doll down in old Hong Kong waits for my return. Pretty Polynesian baby over the sea. I remember the night when we walked in the sands of Waikiki, and I held you oh so tight. Well, I'm a traveling man.
Oh, Dad.
Yes, I'm a traveling man. Yes, I'm a traveling man. Well, I'm a traveling man.
I'm thinking of Bob Seger. I got the rambling man. And I was also wondering about, I wonder if this song influenced the Beach Boys' California Girls.
Probably did, I think.
I mean, it came out, I think, after that, and it's the same kind of premise, that the East Coast girls are hip, But isn't that a cute song?
Yeah.
I mean, he's, I'm sure he's got all these places,
Down
right?
in old Mexico. Correct. So, a
This
buddy
guy'd
of
have to travel with Captain Cook to go to half
a
of those
buddy of mine,
places.
Rich, we wrote a lot of songs together. And
Rich.
He used to hate when we would use the word just as a filler. He would say just. Well, he used old in this one quite a few times. And it was kind of like, why are you using the word old, And then down in Burlington. Berlin is north. It's not down. It's not south.
Well, if he was at the North Pole with the Eskimos, it might have been down.
But it's a great song,
It's fun, yeah, and it kind of has a romance and everything about it. It's a lot of fun stuff.
And with his good looks, he probably did have chicks waiting for him.
But you're right. It does sound like an Elvis song. It almost sounds like it come from Blue Hawaii or or something, or like Follow That Dream, something like that.
Love that song.
Yeah, I do too. Anyway, what did you guys think of Travelin' Man by the wonderful Rick Nelson?
Eric Nelson.
Eric, yeah. Eric. Leave us your comments. We'd love to hear what you think. Okay, and now we're going to end our tribute to Rick Nelson with a song that he wrote after a very disappointing experience at Madison Square Garden in 1972 as part of an oldies show when he wanted to come out and perform new music, and he was actually booed. They're not sure if they were booing him directly or something else, but he took it that they were booing him because they only wanted to listen to his old material.
Stuff, yeah.
And he wanted to perform a lot of new stuff. And he was very disheartened by that whole experience. And he wrote this song, which became a huge hit for him.
Like number
on
4,
a comeback.
right?
Yeah, number 1. It
Number
even rose
1?
to number 1 on some
Wow.
charts. Number 6 on some charts. Number 1 on others. And it was a gold record. Anyway, here it is from 1972.
And they played it a lot. I kind of got tired of it, to be honest with you.
It'll be nice to hear again.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So it's Rick Nelson with the Stone Canyon Band, who he had played with during this comeback time. Here it is, Garden Party.
I went to a garden party to reminisce with my old friends, a chance to share old memories and play our songs again. When I got to the garden party, they all knew my name, but no one recognized me. I didn't look the same, but it's alright now. I learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. And people came from miles around, everyone was there. Yoko brought her walrus, there was magic in the air. And over in the corner, much to my surprise, Mr. Hughes hidden Dylan's shoes, wearing his disguise. But it's alright now, I learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. La da da, la da da da.
I love the steel guitar.
Played them all the old songs, thought that's why they came. No one heard the music, we didn't look the same. I said hello to Mary Lou, she belongs to me. When I sang a song about a honky-tonk, it was time to leave. But it's alright now, I learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. La da da, la da da da, la da da da. Someone opened up a closet door, and out stepped Johnny Be Good, playing guitar like a ringing a bell, and looking like he should. If you gotta play at garden parties, I wish you a lot of luck. But if memories were all I sang, I'd rather drive a truck. But it's alright now, I learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. La da da, la da da da. And it's alright now, yeah, learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself.
So Yoko brought brought her walrus, so Paul was there.
John.
Paul was the walrus.
Paul was the walrus. Well, I guess he was mistaken.
And then Howard Hughes, he's saying Howard Hughes was there. It's
I guess so. Yeah.
Interesting.
And apparently, when I researched the song a little bit more, apparently the song he's talking about a honky tonk when the booing started, he was trying to do Honky Tonk Women by the Stones, and they thought it was so out of character for Rick Nelson because he wanted to perform some of these new versions of things he was working on, and nobody wanted to hear him. They all booed him off because they wanted to hear the other stuff, all the old stuff. I think the song is so nicely written. I think it's
nice.
I mean, the lyrics are really nice. They convey his feeling in a very subdued but poignant way. And let's face it, that line has become super famous. You can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. I mean, he kind of coined that phrase, you know, and boy, it's such a nice mix of stuff, too, with that slide guitar.
I love the slide guitar. Sounds beautiful, yeah.
Tasty song and a big hit for him. So he came a long way from Poor Little Fool and some of the other stuff to start playing this kind of music. And who knows where his career would have gone if it hadn't been for that tragic plane accident in 1985. What did you guys think of our tribute to Ricky Nelson, the great Ricky Nelson, the Hall of Fame Ricky Nelson? He deserves it, too, because he really has quite a legacy. He's one of the kind of underappreciated, kind of forgotten big stars of a long stretch of time in the music business and television and movies too.
He was kind of in the class of Fabian as far as the girls were concerned, you know.
Oh, he was a big heartthrob.
Yeah, I mean, really big heartthrob, and did really well. I mean, he wasn't the greatest actor, but he wasn't the worst, and you know, he presented himself well.
He made a mark in his life, and unfortunately, he was cut tragically short. But anyway, leave us your comments. Tell us about your Rick Nelson experience, Ricky Nelson, whatever you want to call him. How did you enjoy watching him on TV? Did you ever see him in concert? If you were lucky enough ever to see him in concert.
Yeah, one time I personally put 10 cents in a jukebox and pushed in one of his songs and played. So there you go.
But like we say, if you enjoyed what you heard, please subscribe, like, and share. We'd love to have you be a part of the trend.
Come on, what happened to you guys?
That's right. We're caring for your ears one ear at a time, and Nick and I are grateful to have you be a part of it, and we thank all of our subscribers, and even the casual viewer. We really welcome you and appreciate you visiting and sharing with us this great tribute to Rick Nelson.
And we're not just eye candy. We know a lot.
That's right. I know we're sort of hot in sort of in a cadaverous kind of way,
yes.
But, you know, anyway, we try to do it with the music. That music fills in all the voids that our looks make up for.
The Coroners Association of America love us.
That's right. Anyway, we want to thank you again for joining us today on another episode of Nick and Knarf. We look forward to seeing you next time.
And we're signing off, guys. We appreciate you all. God bless.
God bless. Peace out. Ciao, bambini.
Ciao.